All right, joined now by Broncos General Manager George Paton. George, outstanding season. What the first thing that jumps out to me is you had this situation with Russell Wilson and the dead number that you were dealing with, and now we're starting to see you on the other side.
Yeah.
I feel like every team that is maybe going to go through that is looking at the success that you guys had. I'm just kind of fascinated by anything you learned in terms of team building while you were dealing with a dead number.
No, we knew we were taking the big hit in 2024, and Greg, Sean, and myself, and we met, and the standard was going to remain high. There weren't going to be any excuses at all, and that's we embraced it. We knew we'd probably have to be a little younger as a team, and in free agency we wouldn't have all the resources yet. We were able to get Malcolm Roach and Brandon Jones and sign some of our own other guys back, Trout and Stranad and some of those guys. And in the draft, we didn't have a lot of room for error either. We had Stiddy, we needed another quarterback for the competition, and so fortunately we picked the right draft, and fortunately Bo Nix was there, and then we hit on a Joe Ellis and Troy Franklin and just Vele and some of these other guys, and so we didn't have a lot of room for error, and yet I thought we did a nice job.
Did a great job because you get to where you were in this past season,
right.
And obviously Bo suffers the injury, which nobody wanted to see, but you still were in the AFC Championship game nevertheless. With you getting there, I'm fascinated how you find the balance between I have maybe young receivers, how do they grow, or let's try to fix it now. Finding that balance of these guys are going to get better, and being patient, but also, hey, we could win right now if maybe we found an improvement. How do you find that?
You're always looking to upgrade at all the positions. You're always trying to help yourself, and but you evaluate each position, on our team, and we had these long meetings, and yeah, you're exactly right. We like our receivers. Cortland Sutton's a Pro Bowl receiver. We have three young guys with high ceilings. Could we bring someone to help us? Sure. We would love to do that, but we like our group, and so it kind of starts over. You reset, and that's what we're doing now. Reset. How do we get better? How do we take the next step, whatever that is? But just know we have a lot of work to be done. It's not going to be the same team.
Certainly isn't.
Yeah.
And when I look at the way you're building it, and I love the way you're building it because I look at the way you're aggressive early in contracts specifically, and you look at like Nick and Coop, and you look at Pat's contract even now where it's at. What have you learned about trying to make sure that happens so you don't get hamstrung in a position where now you're hostage, I guess, by a player?
We've done, and in the last 18 months, we've done 10 extensions. Since August, we've done 6 for $400 million. And just think if we didn't get them, how this, daunting this free agency period would be. It already seems like, wow, we got all these guys, and all those guys are core players, they're Pro Bowl, all pro type players, and so I think it's really important to get ahead of them for the right players, and thus far we've targeted the right players.
How would you describe your approach to free agency? Like if you were able to tell it to somebody, it varies so much in the league.
It is. You can't be aggressive every year. You have to be selective. You have to pick your spots. I think that's really important. Again, you have to draft and develop. Younger, hungrier, cheaper. Sometimes healthier, but I think it's really important to just pick your spots, and if you go big one year, you can't go big the next. You got to have a plan. You got to have a 3-year window. Okay, so we're going to go big this year. The next year, So I just think it's really important to plan.
How much do you use the position groups in the draft when you're looking at free agency?
You do. We've looked at it. The positions we need are the players that are unrestricted free agents. So you kind of look at the strength of the draft compared to free agency, and you plan your off-season accordingly.
Okay. That makes sense. With the big news that Sean's saying today, when he spoke for you with the changing of play calling, obviously that's the way you guys think of Davis.
Yes.
Does that change in your world in terms of his say in personnel if he's calling plays? Does he have a bigger voice this year, I guess, as the offensive coordinator?
No, the one thing about Davis, Davis has been here 3 years. We know Davis. I think we're all aligned in what we're trying to build on offense, and Davis is, and Sean and Zach Streif, really all our coaches. We're dialed in on what we're looking for, and I don't think that'll change much.
I do a show with Chase Daniel, and Chase obviously knows Sean so well, and he was like, I can't believe he's giving up play calling. We were texting.
I know, it's pretty.
So what do you take when somebody who's been with Sean that long and loves him as a play caller so much, like Chase goes, I can't believe he's giving it up? What does that tell you about the situation that you're in?
Sean's going to do whatever it takes, to improve our football team, and I think the cool thing is he's one of the best to ever call it, and yet we have this young up-and-comer, and And so I think we're in really good hands with both these guys and the rest of our staff.
On each side of the ball, with VJ still staying and Sean still runs that side, how much, now that you've been with these guys for several years, allows you to look at players in maybe more of a specific way?
Yeah, definitely. The continuity is huge. We didn't have that in my first 2 years, but the continuity, you kind of know what VJ wants and what his coaches want at each position, and same with Sean. I mean, the must-haves and the non-negotiables, you kind of know. You really know with Sean, right? And then VJ, you kind of know. And so I just think the more, again, the continuity is huge. Yeah.
How often do you enjoy the question of who are you picking in the first round?
Oh, I don't mind. We're picking 30. No one's asked me yet.
They haven't?
Not really.
It's
kind of hard to get to 30.
Get?
I don't even know. I I'm a little behind.
No, I am too.
Yeah.
Do you run through just that many different
not yet.
How do you look through scenarios,
Yeah,
George,
this early in the process, you don't really look. You kind of have an idea who could be there, and you start thinking about it and processing it. But as you get through the April draft meetings, that's when you start thinking. You start maybe working a few mocks and scenarios, but not now. Now we're still pretty early in the process trying to get to know these players.
Gotcha. Okay, you're in there early in the process, you're in the building, you're going to be in a new building soon.
Yeah.
What is the vibe around, you get to the AFC Championship game, you have a new facility right across the practice field that's getting built, there's plans for the new stadium. Is there just kind of an energy around the Broncos?
It's pretty
right
cool.
now?
To have the owners that we have and their investment into the organization and especially our players and everything we do in the training room and sports performance and the way we travel, the way we eat and the nutrition. It's second to none. And so it is pretty cool. And then obviously we had a great year but we're really fortunate to have our ownership group, Greg and Kerry.
That's why I have this last question with them. And they're outstanding. People in Denver are terrified, George. I live there. My wife is a super fan. She does not want to see you go anywhere. Are we going to hopefully stay in Denver?
I don't think anyone's terrified. Who are you kidding?
Well, you don't live in my household, and you don't watch games with my wife, George. She is terrified. The way you've built this team, she does not want to see you go.
No, we're good. This will happen at the right time. We're just so busy. We're into our. We're off and running. The season ends, and we're in draft meetings. We're in free agent meetings. Now we're at the combine. We get back free agency. We got a lot going on.
Yeah. Listen, and you got less time to do it when you play as far as you did.
I know.
Awesome. Well, get after it. Appreciate it, George.
James.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good seeing you. Thank you.